We are live. It is 3:07 p.m., 9:07 p.m. on June 5th, 2022. It's the Nomad Tech Project with Sam and Joe.
Hey.
The best podcast you never heard of. We are coming to you live here a few minutes late on a Sunday. We will. How you been, sir?
We not too bad.
Supposed to have a guest. They're having a little bit of a technical difficulty. They may join later.
Hopefully.
We were supposed to have Lenny on from the Purposely Pixel YouTube channel. He had some life events going on, so he wasn't able to join us. So that's unfortunate. We'll try to get Lenny on and anybody else from the Purposely Pixel team. But,
definitely, he'll understand, I'm sure.
Yeah, just couldn't make it, and that's okay. So he just made a comment. He just heard of you guys. Congrats, this is your first podcast. No, unfortunately for everyone listening, we've actually had about almost 10 of these things. So it's all good. So
can't you tell?
Lenny may be on some other time in the future. So check out the show, the Purposely Pixel YouTube channel. The fantastic content. I know it says Purposely Pixel. They do talk Pixel, but they also talk about other stuff too. So check them out. Yep. Greg's in the chat. Welcome, Greg. How are you, sir?
Hey, Greg.
So I think on this show, we might talk to, we might talk about what's going on with the Pixel. Apparently, not only do we have the regular Google I/O, but we had some, I guess, other issues in the news show that talked about some people with Pixel 7s and inadvertently getting them out in the wild and one getting sold and all sorts of other stuff. Yeah. And then just general Pixel talk. We'll talk about the watch because I know we've had some news about the watch as far as battery life, and then we've had just some general that I'm using. So we'll pretty much talk mostly Pixel stuff today because I think that's something that we should really address because that's a pretty big deal for our show. And then also on top of that too, just whatever stuff comes up. So, and if we have our guest that he's able to join us, we'll pipe him in middle of the show.
He may jump in. You never know. Quick say hello to everyone in the chat. So we've got Team VRY, Lenny, we've got Roger, Life of Tech in there, and Greg. Yeah. Thanks for jumping in, guys.
So we're good. So I guess we'll start with the I would like to say that I believe that it's completely organic, like somebody just happened to have some Pixel 7 prototypes and they just happen to get pictures taken of and happened to then just be sold to third parties. So
and then Google happened to wipe it quite quickly as well.
It sounds like pretty typical Pixel and Google leaks, as it were. Yeah. I'd like to say that a little bit of the spidey sense is telling me that this happened to be totally on its own, just kind of a thing. But this isn't the first time that Google's leaked devices. A couple months early, kind of on purpose, on accident. So who knows?
On Purposely Pixel.
Right, Purposely Pixel leaked. So I saw the back of the device. Like I saw the renders of the 7. I'm actually okay with the back. I like the design of that camera bar.
Yeah, I really like it. I mean, it's not too dissimilar to the 6 Pro, is it? And the 6.
Right. And like I said, and then just a little bit of a difference there too, as far as I guess the camera. But I really think that I like the fact that it's distinctively a Pixel device. I kind of like
absolutely
that way. If you're a phone person or you happen to see other phones like it stands out as a uniquely Pixel device. If somebody's having that kind of a camera housing, they have a Pixel.
Yeah, definitely. I like the way it seamlessly goes into the frame of it a bit more nicely than the 6 does with the aluminium or aluminum, whatever you want to say it.
Yeah, the English, the American version of aluminum, aluminium. So, I think the 7's fine. I think the upgraded tensor chip is going to be great. Obviously they're going to have some. The only thing is, they're really going to have to really do a pretty good job with the Android 13 software.
Yes,
that's really going to happen because and again, it isn't the first time that a Pixel kind of launched with some hardware and software that just didn't work real well. They had the 4XL that had the solely, face unlock and the solely radar, but then it wouldn't authenticate for like 3 or 4 months for any banking app. So you couldn't, you had to just type in your password. So it's not the first time that Google's had, really aggressive hardware strategy and software strategy that just kind of got a little kind of dodgy. It just didn't exactly work out pretty well.
I mean, I think it's been unfortunate with a new tensor chip. Obviously, that's new for them, getting that optimized, but then having Android 12 problems as well. I mean, all devices had problems with Android 12. So I think it's a bit unfortunate it had both at the same time.
Right. And Roger is saying we're looking sharp today.
Oh,
I'm wearing a t-shirt. Joe is. We just happen to be both wearing black.
We're in a Gap.
That was
Gap
not
top, yeah.
Yeah, that was not a planned event. We just happened to come on the stream just beforehand.
It's a new use for the podcast.
Right. We just happened to be wearing the same color shirt. That was not planned, by the way. So, it's all good. So, yeah, I'm curious to see what the Google 7 and obviously I'm assuming a 7 Pro would be out there. And of course, if everything goes well, I guess a 7A would be in the mix. So I really am kind of waiting on the 6A.
I think that's going to be an absolute winner, that one.
And I also like the fact that it seems like Google is really doing a marketing push right there. I've seen lots of commercials on TV. I've seen some spots in movie theaters. I think they really are spending a lot more energy and time really trying to push the Pixel.
They need to, don't they?
At least the phone, right? I don't know about the rest of the stuff like with the watch and the Pixel Buds. I clearly don't think they're going to have any kind of. They may have some watch ads, but I doubt it. But they seem like they're really not taking a real backseat to marketing. They're actually trying to have advertisements and trying to get at least the phone described and out there in the public. I think it's a pretty big deal. I think Google's finally trying to really put a lot of emphasis and some energy into the Google Pixel line for sure.
Yeah, I think so. They need to spend the money to do it though, because they are behind. So they need to drive the sales more, and it's worked. I mean, not massive numbers, but they have sold. I think it's about 1 million more than previous.
Well, also that I think I just heard. I'm not sure if it's the 6A, but I think they're finally going to actually have the phone launch in India, which
that's massive.
The only problem I worry about the India market is they're very spec conscious, and with the tensor chip, it's not exactly though. The 6A isn't exactly a spec monster. But I would say, for $899 for your 6 Pro, and your $599 for your 6, and then now you're at a 6A at $449. That's a pretty aggressive strategy for pricing for a brand new Android phone.
Yeah, but you think that's technically if you put it up against that, that's against the SE, which I think it obliterates.
Well, I really don't think. See, and I think that's what where I understand the. Let's get it out there so we can leverage against it's the Apple Pixel, right? I think you really need you need to target the Samsungs and those kinds.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Really, you have to really get against that. That has to be. They're trying to think of as Google Pixel being the Android phone of choice.
Yeah, definitely. But the 6A is the phone that's going to appeal to more people. So not everyone cares about the refresh rate.
And
decent cameras.
Yeah, Lenny's saying the 6A is going to have a stable version of Android 12, which is good, and released in India.
Yeah,
right.
The
only thing I worry about with India is they are extremely. Pixel will be the new entrant into that market. You're talking about the Realmes, the Xiaomi's, the Vivos and Oppos and stuff like that. But also, the Indian market is extremely conscious of specs, probably more so than other markets. So it's
many Google fans in India. So a lot of our Purposely Pixel listeners and viewers are from India.
Yeah,
like a high number. And it's because they have a massive interest in Google and Pixel devices.
Right. And I agree. Yeah, and also I forgot the series, the Samsung A series, right? And then you're also talking about budget devices that are in the $150 to $350, which I don't know what the rupee conversion is, but and then also OnePlus, they're aggressive in that market still with the RTs and those. So it's really it's nice that Google's decided to really open up to that market. However, they are really coming in at a bad time as far as trying to get some leverage and some market share in that market, it's going to be a real uphill climb. Even
So I think
like I
what's
said,
going for it though is the tensor chip. Obviously,
yeah.
it's something going for it with the AI
Well,
smarts.
well, the problem is with the tensor chip, you really don't know what. Remember, they're more into specs, right? So it's like, what's that benchmark, right? Is that an 870? Is that a 8 Gen 1? With the tensor chip, you really
That's why I
don't
say
know.
the AI smarts in the tensor chip, because that's what it's aimed at.
Mhm.
So some of the features that you get on the flagship 6 range, you're going to get on that 6A,
Oh yeah.
which is fantastic.
I think what Google probably should do is talk about, leverage. Yeah, we're having spent a couple extra dollars for a phone, but you're aware of the Pixel line and also the feature set. There are
Yeah,
phones that can do things, but this phone can do live transcribe. This phone can do all those little feature
exactly.
drops. So I think that's going to be, yeah, you're having to spend a couple extra dollars, and maybe, yeah, it's not the most bleeding edge hardware, but really Google for the India market is really going to have to leverage this as a pure Pixel experience, timely updates, feature sets. Yeah, you're spending more money, but it's a Google, and also picture quality is going to be, is really good. So.
Yeah, because I'd be interested to see like how the older hardware on the camera works with the new tensor chip, what they get out of it. Because obviously that's the same main lens that was on the Pixel 5.
Mhm. Yeah,
So I'd be interested to see what they
it's
get out of it.
and Matt's in the chat. Purpose of gaming. Well, hello, Matt. How are you,
Oh,
sir?
hey,
Hope everything's going well. So, yeah, I'm curious to see really what the 6A and the 7s are going to be. But I would like to think that 7, happened to be in the wild and get sold. I would like to think that just happened, but a little bit of the kind of like a little bit of the. I think they maybe possibly maybe let it kind of happen.
I think
Sort
so.
of. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of thing. It's that's the way these phone companies are, right?
Because let's face it, we didn't learn much. We didn't learn from Google I/O, really.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's just what it is. And like I said, this isn't the first time that Google has had some issues with containing new hardware and that kind of thing. So the phones are going to be great, but also, they're coming out with some new Pixel Buds, right? The Pro Series.
Yeah, see, I really like the look of these.
Mm-hmm. I do too. I think, and
Lost you for
also,
a second, Sam.
and actually my wife is a iPhone user, and she has, and these just happen to be on her desk, right? She has the A series, the Buds. Of course, they're not charged.
Did they survive the dog munching them?
Well, there's some bite marks on the one. It's not good. I don't know. I'm gonna try to charge them.
But they work still, or
well, of course, she hasn't actually tried to put them in to test them out. So
okay, no, just
I
talk to the
don't know.
robust.
I'm gonna try to charge them and then try to test them out and see if they're okay. I think they just are some superficial munchies, but yeah. So I'm excited about the Pixel. Now here's the thing, because I have a pair of wired, earbuds, and I have the Pixel A series. I'm probably not going to pick up the Pros, only because for me at $99, the Pixel A series buds really work okay because I don't really need ANC necessarily, and I'm assuming that the Pros are probably going to be in the 245 to 300 range. And I'm like, I don't know what the price is, but I've got a pair of really good Pixel Buds. So like now, if you were maybe had an older phone, earbuds, or you're coming to a Pixel for the first time, it's a package deal. Or if you've got, other like manufacturers, like, a cheap pair of wireless earbuds, maybe you want to skip the A series and kind of go to, going to the Pixel Buds Pro. Maybe
it depends what you need.
Right.
The transparency as well.
Yeah. For me, because I both have a set of A series buds and they work pretty well.
Yeah.
I'm probably not in the market for a new set. But we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to see how that goes. So for me, that'll be like, of all the things that Google's launching for the fall, that would be the least of my interest, just because.
There's one guy I need to hear his review first. El Jefe.
Oh, Jeff for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Once I've heard his review, then it will validate whether I'm gonna jump on it.
Well, again, yes, Roger. iPhone is a swear word around here. However, my wife is an iPhone user, and so is my daughter. And so, when it comes to, and it's funny that she didn't even consider really getting the iPods or whatever they are, the earbuds for the iPhone. She saw that I had these and they're like $99, and she's like, oh. And of course, they pair up to an iPhone. The functionality isn't exactly the same as it was beyond a Pixel, but yeah,
she likes it.
She seems to like them. Okay.
So they pair up really then.
Yeah, they had no problem. I don't know if there was an app necessarily, but I mean they just do Bluetooth, so they pair up pretty nice. And for $99, she likes them. So she has a pair and I have a pair. So go figure.
The only thing I was disappointed with the new Buds Pro is you see the case looks the same for all colours, just a plain white.
Yeah.
But they could have done a bit more of a special case for each colour.
I guess you could, but I guess my question is, I guess that's nice and all, but for me, I'm okay with just having the white as long as the earbuds are a different color. That's okay.
Yeah.
For me.
I mean, if you're going to go for a specific colour, it would have been nice to have a little bit of accent on there, or even if it was just the G, or do you know what I mean? Just a little accent on the case.
Maybe like in the middle here, have a little light up G or something. Yeah,
just to show off that you've got that colour while it's in the case. I don't know, but just me.
But people, if you're wearing the buds, they will be able to see them in your ears and go, "Oh, those are orange or whatever."
I like the lemongrass ones.
For the color, the color for the earbuds for the Buds Pro, I don't really care. The phone would be more important, or the Pixel Watch, right? That would be. And speaking of the Pixel Watch, so a lot of people that Google is claiming up to a day of battery life. I think that's a non-starter for a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised though. To be honest,
I don't think so, and like I said, I don't think I have a Galaxy Watch 3, and it lasts only a day. I mean, I have to charge it every night. So,
see, mine lasts 2 days now.
Your Galaxy
it used to only last. Yeah, I've got Galaxy Watch 3 as well. Okay. It used to last 1 day, but it has got better now. It does last about 2 days.
Yeah, I mean, I might get a day and a half, and I don't use it very often. So, but I mean, like I said, I every time I use the Galaxy Watch, I still just go to my Mi Band 6.
Yeah,
it's 7 days, 8 days battery life. It gives me notifications, and that's really all I need.
So if I'm being realistic, I'll probably only need a Mi Band as well. I don't really need that's probably why I'm getting 2 days, because I'm not really using much on the watch.
And Matt says, nobody ever came up to him and said, "Hey, mate, I love the color of your earbuds." Like said, no one ever. So I think the earbuds with different colors is kind of cool, but the fact that your case has a different color, I kind of agree with Matt. I don't really think that's like a big deal. I think your phone color is more important.
Our sponsor might do a skin for it.
Right, extremeskids.co.uk, our sponsor. Go ahead and check them out. This is a good little segue. Joe just kind of segued right into Extreme Skins. So yeah, they may do a little, and then you get wraps, right? You get all sorts of colors. They'll ship it to you, even if you're not in the UK. If you're worldwide, they'll ship it to you anyway. They may do a wrap for it, and if not, that's okay too. You got wraps for your phones, your tablets, or your consoles. They're really good, awesome customer service, really competitive prices. And should check them out. Extremeskins.co.uk. Check them out. Give them a try. I think you'll be highly impressed by the quality, by their customer service, their response, and also the fact that it's a local company. You're really kind of helping out a local group of guys and gals. So check them out. Extremeskins.co.uk. Go there now. Get you some. Put it on your phone.
Go there now.
And be cool. And then when somebody asks you, you can tell them. And also, if you
back to the buds quickly,
if you put your skin on wrong, they'll blast you on Twitter. So that's kind of cool.
Especially if you're Sam.
Yeah, they didn't wait a second. I put that PS4 skin on wrong, and they blasted me right. I mean, they didn't even wait. I don't think it was like 2 hours. So good dudes, good guys and gals over there.
Skin on our podcast, bloody hell.
So absolutely, I again, like I said, I'm okay with the buds. The watch. If I didn't already have the Mi Band and if I didn't already have the Galaxy Watch, I would consider it. I think people are getting a little bit, I guess they're getting a little ahead of themselves. I think with the design, it's like, oh, well, I need to see it in person. Like I want to see it on display, put it on my wrist and see how it feels. I mean, yeah, it's kind of a low profile, and it has a different kind of look to it. And I do care about durability, but it's really going to be one of those things where it's any kind of a wearable, right? Any kind of earbud, any kind of watch. You're really just going to have to kind of see that in person and kind of maybe put it on your wrist and see how it fits and how it looks.
I think what's key with it is the integration. If you're Google, or even just got an Android phone, is the integration with your phone, how good that's going to be. And also, if you're someone who's got a Fitbit, with the new Fitbit integration, something you're familiar with, it might be the first sort of Wear OS watch to go into. Perhaps, I don't know.
And Aditya is in the chat, my friend, my man. Issue is the government has added some import tax in the phones not made in India, meaning Google will have to either price higher or take a cut in profit. Well, I'd like to. Hopefully, they'll take a cut in profit, but I'm assuming they are aware of that issue. Aditya,
I think that's probably why they've not launched there in the past.
Right. So I think if they're launching there, I think they're kind of assuming that that's going to be a thing. So they're probably going to have to maybe take it take some hit in the profit margin, just to kind of get it. Let's hope so, because honestly, I think if you start getting into like the over $500 mark, I don't think. I think there's way too much competition at the low end or that middle end. That really, I don't think the feature sets and then the fact it's a new phone, I don't think that's going to overcome the sales lag. So, but we'll have to wait and see. And then as far as the watch. Again, I already have a watch and I already have a notification tracker band. It was $50. So, I as much as I'd like to get a Pixel watch, I really just don't think that it's gonna really that at launch. That probably won't be a thing for me. Now, maybe we'll see how prices come down, or maybe I decide to get one. Maybe then, but for me, it's unfortunately that's the thing too that Pixel has to understand, and Google has to understand is, you're going to be getting into people who already have Apple watches, who already have Samsung watches, who already have Fitbits. So you're trying to get into a market. So like, well, why would I spend $200 something on a Pixel watch when I really don't need one?
Well, that's the thing for me. Like they're doing it about 4, 5, 6 years late, really. But I'm grateful they're doing it. I'm grateful they're starting to build their ecosystem. I'm a Pixel fan, obviously, so I'm quite excited by it. But I'm kind of with you as well. I've got a Galaxy Watch 3. I don't really need a new watch, but we'll see. We'll see what it brings.
Yeah, I mean, and really, there are going to be people who are going to maybe already have a watch and maybe go, oh, you know what, I want to check this out. Like, the early adopters, and, and I still may do it. I mean, I'm not saying that it would be, it's a, yeah, I would say that
pretty slick.
Yeah, the watch would be probably if I was going to say, I already have buds, I already have a watch. What would I get? Would I get the buds or the watch? I would probably say I would get the buds because I would probably use those more effectively and more often. And the move up from the Pixel A series to the new buds would be greater. So it would justify the cost. Whereas opposed to if I bought the watch, I'm like, it's Android Wear, right? Or ties in or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like it's not so much better than the Pixel than the Galaxy Watch I have now. So there isn't so much cost justification. If I spend $200, am I going to be getting a whole lot more for my money? As opposed to, I know if I bought the Pixel Buds, they would be better than the Pixel A series. All of those are pretty good. Just for A and C, well, probably just some.
I reckon with the watch, it'll have some teething problems. That's what
well, again, it's a brand new product, so you can only assume that thing's going to come out of the gate. It's going to be a little bit shaky at first. I mean, Pixel.
It's going to be, isn't it? Like
hardware and software is going to be a little shaky, especially when it's brand new. It's the first generation of whatever. So it's I can't imagine that Pixel is going to come out. The Pixel Watch is going to come out and hit the gate, and they're going to hit the ground running. I think there are going to be some issues with it, just because it just makes sense. Not because Google is not a good company, but it's new hardware, new software. I just can't imagine it's going to just like hit the ground running. If it does, great. Then people will be pleasantly surprised. You'll have a lot of media who give it a lot of positive attention. And then you go from there. But again, it's like one of those things where here it is again. Google just kind of like 1 or 2 steps behind their competition that are already
Yeah.
established, and they're on their 4th series watch, and 6 and 7 series iPhone iWatch, right? So,
But there's no time like the present to get it going.
well, I mean, you might as well get started. I mean, what's the hell of
Yeah.
waiting, right? If you're going to make it, might as well get it in there, no matter what. So,
I think it goes alongside their sort of relaunch. Like Pixel 6 was a proper flagship device for them. They're going in the right direction, I think. I know it's had its trouble. I feel like they're going in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting products to market.
Don't let me down, Google. I'm saying big things about you now.
Yeah, we're like, trying to and then like I agree with Greg. I'd say if the Pixel Watch is more than 300, they'll have a trouble selling. I think if it's over 250, they're gonna have a problem selling it.
They need to make their pricing strategy right, absolutely. Because that was partly the win for me with the Pixel 6 series.
Right. What they need to do is they need to price them almost price them at a loss.
Yeah.
Just to get them in the market. Right. I think the watch would come in at if it come in at $199, boy, that would be pretty competitive against any kind of
basically what Matt said as well. 200,
right. About 200. Yeah, 200 quid. They're gonna have to. I mean, if they come out here and they just go, okay, we're gonna make it $299, I'm like, it's kind of like the Duo, and the Duo 2. It's like, I understand why you're pricing it that way, but if you're trying, I guess my question is, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to just be another player or OEM in the space? Are you trying to really drive market share to your product? If that's the case, you have to keep that price. That's what people care about. It's like, how does it impact their wallet? They don't really care about features. It's like when I see a Google Watch at $199 and I see all the Samsung watches at $250, $270, $280, and then all the Fitbits at like $150, $170. What the hell, right? But if you see a Pixel Watch at $299, it's like, why would I do that? Really? It's
funny to say. I watched John Ressinger did a video earlier. The Pixel box. He had this idea of like them selling all their products as a package. I thought it was a really great idea because that's kind of what they were trying to do, like build the ecosystem and get people to buy in. And if they did like some kind of deal where you get the watch, the 6A, and then like, I don't know, a Nest or a Nest Wi-Fi he had on his one, that'd be a great like package, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah. Then also you would force people to get into your ecosystem. You kind of like
exactly
serve them. Yeah, I can see. So it just depends on. But the problem is like, okay, well, let's say you price it at $699. How many people have $700 sitting there burning a hole in their pocket? I just don't. You know what I mean? It's like I think it's a great idea too. But it's like, I don't think a lot of people can really
carriers.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. It's a pain in the ass enough. In
the
United States, yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
But you can do that differently. You can say, hey, you can tell AT&T and Verizon, hey, you buy a Pixel 6a, you get a Nest, and then you get Pixel Buds for, you'll do the contract for, and you get a credit for the Buds, and then you only have to come up with $100 for the Nest, right, or something like that. And I agree with Verizon. Like at this point, the only main complaint about the entire current Pixel is the matte blacks. Please, enough.
Oh yeah, please give us matte blacks, please.
Yeah, I that's the one thing I liked about having my Windows phones is they were I didn't buy. I think it was the 950. No,
again, I'll point you to extreme.
I didn't buy the 920 because the red only came in gloss. So I bought the black just because it was matte. And it didn't have to do with the color. I was willing to lose on the color to get the texture of the back. So yeah, I think that if I were a manufacturer of any device, I would ditch all glossy anything.
Yeah, definitely.
Frosted backs if it's glass or matte blacks. I'm still a fan of polycarbonate or plastic phones. I know a lot of people don't like that.
I'm not against it if they reflect it.
Yeah, I really honestly think that, I'm okay with it. I liked having the fact that I used that 920 and I literally dropped it down a flight of stairs and it did not even dent it. I mean, it was the most durable device. And it's like, we make these phones. I'm okay with having more durable devices and not necessarily having pretty devices where you have to throw a case or a skin on them.
Yeah, exactly. I always case and skim my phones anyway, so for me, I'm
Right.
not too worried.
Extremesuit.co.uk.
Yeah,
Just saying.
exactly.
Yeah.
We'll keep saying it.
A detail: Pixel Watch have to play their strengths using Google Assistant, make the watch truly hands-free. Yeah, I agree. Again, that's what I was telling you about the leverage that's going to be in India, right? They have to make sure that, yeah, you may be spending a couple extra dollars as opposed to a Realme, but you're going to get up-to-the-minute updates. You're going to get Google software. You're going to get all the feature sets, right? So they have to leverage the smart capability of the Google Assistant.
Exactly.
They have to really show
differentiate
people,
it.
right? They have to show people like, yeah, you'll get a Pixel, and yeah, you may spend a couple extra dollars as opposed to a budget Android device, but look at what you're getting for that extra $100, right? Really have to kind of sell that. I agree with it, DT there for sure.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's the integration with the Google Home stuff as well. If you see that on I/O, they've got the Matter, which is a lot more products and companies that will link to your Google Home stuff.
Yeah.
Quite exciting.
Dan's in the chat, and he agreed. Bring back solid polycarbonate. Well, and also Dan's a homer for the Windows Phone, but I agree with him. So I'm not. That's not an attack on Dan. I love Dan very much. He's a good dude. Hope he's feeling better. I know he's been trying to get his channel going. Like I said, if you haven't had a chance to check him out, Grounded Tech, check out Purposely Gaming. He does all sorts of like killing people, shooting people in the face, lots of streaming. Matt does a good job. Check that out too. And of course, the Purposely Pixel podcast. We're just going to plug stuff randomly throughout the show. We're just going to plug
Team VI, check him out as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, check them out. Just sub. They didn't watch the videos, but at least give them a sub. But yeah, I agree. Shiny backs are scratch magnets, and also they just look like, after a while, they just look like crap. Then you got the fingerprints. You have to constantly wipe them off. It's just a pain in the ass, right? So let's just
as well, though, which is pretty key.
Let's just be done with glossy backs. Let's just be done with it.
It just falls out your hand.
Sucks. It's kind of like curved screens. Let's just be done with it. Yeah, who cares?
Curved screen's another thing, isn't it? Although I must admit, I was very much, that's one thing I was worried about with the Pixel 6 Pro, but I actually like the curved screen on this. I must admit, I actually do like it.
Okay, I guess the question would be, are you okay with, like, would it, if it was a flat screen, you're okay, but it's like, if it's curved, it's okay. I don't really mind it. I'm getting used to it. So like, I guess okay. So I was curious because I know a lot of people, you know, they really never got used to the curve. On top of that, phantom touches and those edge detection and stuff. So I guess my question is, why are you just okay with the fact that it's curved and it really hasn't caused you a lot of problems? So you're like, okay.
Basically, I thought I was worried, but the accidental touches aren't really a thing on this phone. The only time it's sometimes annoying is when you want to tap something that's on that curve.
Right, you have to kind of like almost hit it from the side of the phone.
Time really, like holding the device, it's quite nice, and the look of it's nice. Give me a flat screen all day long, but the curved screen hasn't been a problem for me, surprisingly. Yeah, much to my delight.
Yeah, that was a concern. I don't care. I mean, if I can get away from a curved screen, I totally will.
Yeah, same. That's on my wish list. I'd prefer a flat screen, but this has impressed me actually. Not bad at all.
Well, yeah. So I've had now the S22 Ultra.
Yeah, let's get into that.
It's okay. It's okay. I think. Well, let me qualify. The phone is fantastic. Actually, the screen is fantastic. The battery life's pretty good. The cameras are really good. I honestly, I'm to the point where I'm going to talk to my daughter about getting the Pixel 6 back, and then give her the S22 Ultra.
What's the reason?
I like the features. I like Pixels better. I just do. I noticed that One UI. I don't like when you swipe up. You have a horizontal app tray. It drives me crazy. That was the one thing about LG phones that drove me crazy. Crazy. I hated that. I don't like a horizontal app tray. I don't like you swipe up and you have to swipe right to get to everything. It's a pain in the ass. I don't like it.
I think you can change it with what's it called? I can't remember the app's called now.
A good lock or whatever.
Personalize things.
Like I don't want to do that. I'm just almost to the point where I actually I just put Microsoft Launcher on it.
Actually, let's get into that as well a little bit later. I'll be interested
Yeah.
in how you've found that. But
So I don't like that. And then it's a great phone. Don't get me wrong. I just don't like when I swipe up. I have to swipe up and then have to go right to left to get to the apps. I don't. I think as a UI design, I think it's absolute trash. I never liked it with LG phones either. That was the one knock on LG phones. I could get around One UX or LG UX or whatever it was called, but that whole swiping up and having to swipe right and left, yeah, and a Nova launcher. I'll tell you this much. Again, hot take, and I don't care. This is my show. This is our show, so we can say whatever. Exactly. I think the best UI was Windows Phone. You had all your apps on one, and if you swipe right, it was a horizontal list of apps alphabetically. That's it. There was no swipes. There was no gestures. Sense. There was none of that shit. It was literally you put all your shit on the home screen, and you could pin anything. And I mean, you had a window, you had a Word doc that you want to have, you get access to, pin the whole Word doc right to your home screen, right? Live tiles.
It's clean.
Awesome. I don't care what anybody says. I will fight you for it, but I love Metro UI, and I loved, and honestly, I thought Windows 8.1 was better than Windows 10. As far as like, I like the Metro look, and I also like the fact that the integration with like your People Hub and stuff like that. I think it was so slick. It's just a shame. I really miss that, honestly, and that's the part of Windows Phone I missed, was how well the UI performed on Windows devices, also on devices that had low hardware, right? Low RAM, low chipsets. Okay. It worked. I mean, if you had a 520 or a 630, it just worked. Like, even if you had older, like a 1020 or 920, older flagshipy kind of devices, Windows 8.1 just worked.
See, that's what's funny though, because that's like the opposite to the Windows on actual laptops and computers, isn't it?
Yeah, and that was okay. I think. See, I know Microsoft wanted that whole kind of homogenization of like having Windows 10 on all devices because it was one solid, because it was easier for development because it was all one code base. I understand that logic. However, Metro UI was so smooth, and it just had, and it had that like the tops of photos, right? Big word photos, right? It had that kind of like really tiny, kind of nice font. Windows phones, I don't care what anybody says. The Windows Phone UI was, to me, the most intuitive UI as far as you can pin anything to the screen and then getting to just a nice, clean list of apps, right? It was alphabetical. It was
hugely popular.
Oh, dude. And that was it. There were no other screens. There were no left swipe, right swipe. You got to the left, you got your live tiles, you went to the right, you got that was it. There was none of that stuff.
So Sam, the launcher, is it anything like that?
No. Well, there are launchers on Android that kind of emulate it. I think
the Windows.
Yeah,
there's like it.
No, Microsoft launcher. No, it's pretty much like Nova. Now, I like Microsoft launcher. Don't get me wrong. I just miss it, and I still have. And I found out the other day that I bought a Lumia 950. It is not locked to AT&T. Apparently, it's locked to some other carrier because I put my AT&T SIM in and said, "Oh, you need to unlock the phone." We're like, shit. So I can't use it because the 1520
shouldn't even be a thing. Locked phones.
I know. Launcher 10's decent. And I've used Square Home. That's another kind of like, actually Square Home's a really good Windows style that's really customizable. I mean, you can get really in the weeds on Square Home. So I like the S22. The only thing I'm worried about is my daughter doesn't like the size of the S22 Ultra.
Yeah.
It's really a big phone for her, and she really kind of liked the fact that the Google 6, the Pixel 6 was like right in that sweet spot. I think that's like but I think
she liked it too.
She had a Note 10 and she loved that Note. She liked having the stylus, so maybe I can leverage the stylus. I'm gonna see if I can talk to her today and see if I can get that Pixel 6 back. I would rather have a Pixel 6. It's not, and it's not because the S22 is not a good phone. The Ultra is a fantastic phone, and I've had other Notes because that's essentially what it is. It's a Note.
Yeah, it is a Note. Yeah,
but I miss my Pixel. I miss the Pixel 6. I don't know.
The guys are all the same in the Purposely Pixel team. They've got S22 Ultras.
Yeah, I saw somebody's got S22 Ultra, and they have other phones, iPhones and stuff too. I mean, it's like,
yeah, but they always gravitate back to the Pixel. It's just the software experience, the smooth slickness of it. That's what they say.
So yeah, I again, I don't dislike it. Obviously, I will, and if she balks and doesn't let me, switch out the Samsung,
Throw her out.
then I'll no. But I'm okay with it. But honestly, you know what? Right now, you know where my the funny thing is, do you know where my SIM is currently and what phone it's in?
I can't see.
Oh, there.
Oh, your Huawei, your P30.
Yeah, my Huawei P30. Yeah, threw it in here.
Great.
Not only great, this is a fantastic phone. Like, I love this P30.
To be fair, it stands up in 2022 pretty well still.
I got an update the other day, so I had it's now running software. It's running March 1st, 2022, so a fairly recent update. Still running Harmony OS. I love this. I actually like this more than my S22.
Yeah, RIP Huawei.
You know what? Honestly, if I would get a Huawei, I would get the 50 or even the P40 Pro if I can get into if it would work on AT&T even without Google Play services, I would rock the shit out of a P40 Pro.
See, I need Google services, but if they hadn't lost that, I may not have ever got a Pixel.
Oh, I will tell you that if Huawei didn't have Google services blocked and they were still, I guarantee you I'd be using a Huawei device.
Yeah, because I went from P20 Pro to Pixel 5 only because it didn't have Google services. Otherwise, I probably would have got the P40, I think it was at the time.
Right. I mean, the cameras doesn't hold up as well as obviously it's kind of between the Duo 2 and the S22 Ultra.
Yeah.
But I tell you, the screen, dude, the displays on these devices are so good. I didn't really, and also it has the headphone jack.
Oh, nice.
Yep. Now
I forgot
the P30 Pro did not, but the P30 did, and I missed the headphone jack. So, again, like I said, I don't dislike it. So so all the Samsung, if there's any Samsung Knights listening to this, don't realize that I am not trashing Samsung at all. And again, I don't dislike the phone. I mean, would I spend the money? Would I buy the phone again after using it for a little over a month? Probably not. Only because I have other options. I had the P30.
That's the thing. It's a device that's for certain people to really get out of it what it offers. Otherwise, you don't need it.
Yeah, I just and the problem is like with the S22 Plus and the S22, they don't do enough for me to really. I mean, if you're going to spend that kind of money, you just might as well get a Pixel. Honestly, the only reason you should get a Samsung device is if you're getting the S22 Ultra. If you're getting any other device like the S22 or the S22 Plus, you should just get a Pixel 6 or 6 Pro.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that's I hate to say it like that. And again, this is not to tell anybody what to spend their money on. You spend it whatever works for you. It's your money. Spend it on whatever device. However, for me, and I will tell you though that Samsung has done a really good job of improving its software updates. They are,
and their integration with their buds and their laptops and stuff is
right. When I have my watch, it just goes. Like when I sync my watch, when my Galaxy Watch, because I do sync it when I switch phones.
And they're in bed with Windows, aren't they, as well? So like
I mean, I don't. And anybody who says Samsung's trash is they're just hating.
No, you can't say that.
I just don't say that. And I think in 2022, I think we finally have got to. So we're at the point where phones are kind of boring right now, right? We've hit like peak smartphone. They always talk about peak smartphone. I think we're at peak smartphone, but that also means that we're also at peak smartphone quality. You can really legitimately spend $350, $400 on a device. Like if you get a Pixel 6a, you will have a cracking good phone. There is no doubt. If you got to pick, and if you go with the Samsung A series, you have a great smartphone.
That's the thing, even mid-range devices now, the cameras on them are pretty damn good.
Yeah, even
at least the main lenses, not the 2 megapixel macros.
Yeah, even the Pixel, I know the Motorola's, yeah, maybe the cameras are a little kind of not as great. But
Their main lenses
but
are
the
decent.
UI and the phone for $400 are solid. TCL is making phones. I
Software's
mean,
better.
I think right now is whatever you have to spend. If you want to go to the used market and spend a couple extra dollars and maybe get like a V60 or an S21, then you're okay. But I will tell you that any phone you get now, you have complete range. You can go all the way from a budget device, right, where the TCL has their stylus, right, at 140 or even free. I think they give it free on T-Mobile or something like that. And then you can go all the way to the $2,000 like Z Fold 3, right, or 1750 or whatever. You have all sorts of variants, and you really are getting pretty solid devices, and you have different kinds of form factors. Unless you're on iOS, right? Then you just have the 13 series. And the funny thing is, I'm getting a new iPhone for work because I have an 8, and it will not hold a charge. And I've had it for like 2.5 years. And I try to get on Teams, and if I'm on video on Teams, it just that battery just gets smoked.
Yeah, Teams kills it.
I told my boss, I was like, dude, I can't be on a Teams call for more than an hour and a half before this battery is like trash. Plus, it's an 8, so I think I might get iOS 16, and that might be it. But the problem is I have to keep upgrading the phone, and when they tell us, hey, don't forget iOS 15 point whatever is out, so go upgrade it. So I told my boss he put in a systems request. So I'm supposed to pick it up tomorrow. I don't know what I'm getting. I'm assuming it's not going to be the 13 series. I think they have 12s. I just told them I want the biggest phone just because I want the biggest battery. So if I can get a 12 Pro Max, that would be great. Because also sometimes I'm on my phone, right, and I'm looking at a Teams they're presenting, and it's hard to see.
For that purpose, the battery and the screen would be nice,
dude. Well, compared to the iPhone 8, I mean, it's and to be fair, I've had that phone for 2.5 years now, so it's had some charges on it. Well, and Matt's like, yeah, currently in the drawer I have a Lumia 950, a Lumia 1520, an HTC One M8. That's running Lineage. My iPhone, but that's work, right? That's a work phone. And then the P30, the Duo 2, and the S22 Ultra. That's what I'm at right now. So yeah, I have a few phones.
Just a couple.
But really, honestly, the 1520 is whitelisted. I can't put on AT&T. The 950, I can't use it because it's locked to another carrier. The HTC One M8, I like it, but boy, it's slow as shit, and the battery's garbage. But it's still great.
Will be now, wouldn't it?
Oh god, it's I still love the M8. That's one of my favorite HTC devices. Is the One M8 and the HTC 10. So we'll have to wait and see. So I think I'm okay. I'm gonna try to see if I can get the Pixel 6 back from my daughter. And if I can, great. Well, and here's the thing, I say it like I can't. I'm telling her, hey, you have to use this S22 Ultra.
Just to say to her.
Yeah,
and let us know our thoughts.
Yeah, and phone. And I agree. And this is one of the best comments that I've read. Phones are so exciting these days, and you got the Pro I, variable aperture. You got the S22. You've got the Vivo X80. Really, that's more camera centric. But really, I mean, right now, if you would have told 2015 Sam that this is where the state of phones, not only iPhones but Android devices and form factors are going to be, I would have been like, and again, we get into that mode, right? Because we're in the moment.
You see,
told 5 years ago, hey, look, we're going to have foldables. We're going to have dual screens. We're going to have iPhones. We're going to have these imports that have great cameras that are getting close to DSLR quality in your pocket, and the Xperia Mark.
You see, some of Sony said that they predict phone cameras will be better. And they put, I can't remember what date they put on it.
Yeah, I saw that. Was it an article or was it a tweet? I couldn't remember if it was a tweet to an article or somebody was talking about it. I think it was Barry Johnson I saw he made a comment on that report. I don't know if that was obviously not his report. But I just think.
Bold statement.
Yeah, well.
They believe it to be AI.
I can tell you, coming from 2016 phone camera capability to 6 years right now camera capability,
Yeah, it's crazy, hasn't it? How much it's moved
It's
on.
really come a long way. And I really think that honestly that you really have to, if unless you're being just, a curmudgeon, you really have to understand that that's really kind of how it goes. I mean, it's really, really good right now. I mean, the smartphone world, as far as you have DeX, you have Ready For, you've got good cameras. I mean, your phone could literally almost be damn near your only computing device. And I think that's what Juan talks about, right? Is really getting phones to where at some point they are really.
They're powerful. So it's about getting more from your phone. Oh, I've lost Sam. It's just me. This is the Nomad Tech project with Joe. How's it going, guys? Hey, I think he's back.
I went to wipe off my trackpad. It just basically backed me out. So
He hasn't put his glasses on.
right, exactly. So it's all good. I actually probably the funny thing is I had LASIK done it's been about 10 years now. So I'm probably I turned 47 in July. So I'm probably going to need to have glasses at some point in the next couple of years. So far I'm okay, but I'm probably going to have them again, which is fine. At that point,
I need to get mine tested soon. I think it's been a long time.
I was supposed to have like eye exams since I had the LASIK, and I haven't had one since. So I'm terrible. But I mean, to my point, Juan was making the point that really your smartphone at right now in 2022, even if you're buying a budget or mid-range phone, you really can have it. It can be your all-encompassing technological communications device, and right, computing device. It can be all that stuff. So,
like the gaming as well, the gaming side of things, you can do everything on there.
Yeah, like I mean, I downloaded Diablo Immortal, and I haven't had a chance to really play it yet, but it's pretty cool. So I'm excited to see that. And so you got gaming, you got productivity, you've got cameras, you've got computing power. I mean, it's really a good time, boy. And folks, enjoy your tech and realize that you are almost when it comes to smartphones, this is really the peak smartphone, and that's okay. I don't think peak smartphone really is anything to be knocked at. Maybe design, if that's what you're looking for. I think maybe you can argue that that's kind of stagnant, but man, it's pretty cool right now. What you can purchase and what you can use in the choices you have. It's pretty sweet. So
yeah, definitely, it's a crazy time. Enjoy your phones.
Well, we did not get our guest on, which is okay. So I haven't heard from him. So we're at the 52-minute mark. So we had a good show. We talked about our Pixels, my experience with the S22, and everything like that. We really don't really know. We probably have to have a talk about gaming. I know Matt mentioned something about xCloud gaming. We could talk about that and that kind of thing. So
there's stuff at Google I/O that was announced that we didn't mention, but
it's like the problem is we only do the show once a week, and we have a guest every once in a while, so we could literally talk about any really thing. And there's so much going on right now, and even when it's slow periods of tech, it's pretty exciting, man. This is a good time if you're a tech enthusiast, if you're into smartphones, or if you're into laptops, or if you're into mobile computing, tablets, phones, watches, whatever. Man, it's pretty sweet. Gaming, between PC and console gaming and cloud gaming and Steam Decks and Xbox Game Pass. It's like, I mean, this is pretty good. It's a pretty good time. If you're a tech enthusiast, this is a pretty sweet time to be around and really have those discussions. And, I granted everybody's got their differences on platform and everything else, but it's good. It's a good time. You almost can't lose, really.
No, there's a product out there for you. Whatever your needs are, the product's probably there.
Or your wants, depending on what those are, right? So
yeah, it's a needs. It could probably be in the field.
Yeah, and absolutely. I know he's been busy. Again, we really appreciate the Purposely Pixel team. One, letting us stream this on their channel, really being supportive between Lenny. Yeah, this utter trash that we're passing off as attempted to have content that's enjoyable to listen to. We're trying to pass that off as actually like professional content. So they've been fantastic as far as Neil and all them and Vry. Check out their channels. Go check out Team Vry's channel. Go check out Roger. I just see Roger. We got Matt's doing some really great streaming. If you're into Call of Duty streams, it's one of the best. He's doing really well. Check out Greg. He's got channels. He talks about rooting and ROMs. That's still kind of a thing. I know, we have a ton of people. Then you have Aditya, who is really about Astroglide and, lube. And
everyone needs to know Aditya, though.
Oh, God. You need to get Aditya in your life. He's one of my favorite humans on Earth as far as just a general good dude.
Definitely.
So, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where there's so much good content out there, and really support your local creators and the people in this chat. Dan does really great content. Everybody does really great content as far as that, and they contribute, and they're on Twitch streaming. There's, support those guys. Let them know you care, and if you just pop in for a few minutes and just tell them, hey, if you can only watch for a few moments, if you're between, if you're traveling and everything else like that. And you got Gigi, one of my favorite people all the time. Rachel is in the chat. So,
hey, Gigi.
And check out her channel. They do a streaming. Holler at your boy does a Friday night stream. I usually always get into there, and it's pretty fun. So, you have not only your gadgets, but you have all these people talking about gadgets, enjoying.
Brings people
content.
Together, doesn't it?
And yeah, it brings people together, and then you can have a lot of fun with the discussions, and that's where really.
That's how we met. That's how we met Matt. That's how we met
Matt. That's how we met all the people in the chat. It was kind of like a community, and you can have a discussion. You can really, really do pretty well as far as engaging with people. And every once in a while, it gets a little edgy, but just try not to be a dick.
That's part of the fun, though, isn't it?
Right. I mean, just don't be an asshole. Right. You basically just kind of enjoy your tech, enjoy talking about your tech, and be happy about it. If you bought a Surface Duo and you spent a bunch of money and you want to talk about how much you like it, great. And if you want to enjoy people giving you shit about it and you want to kind of clap back on them, and it's a good time. It's always a lot of fun. And we really, really appreciate everybody stopping by in the chat, showing us love, participating, making comments. And that's what we do this for. We really do this. Obviously, we're not doing it for the money, because there is none.
No, it costs us money.
We really do it for love of the game, but really it's for the folks in the chat like Dan and Matt and Gigi and Aditya and Greg and Fry and all them. And then if you go and have a chance, you see their streams, you see their comments, please reach out to them or check out their channels. They all do really good content about all sorts of stuff. I mean, you got to be able, if you're a tech enthusiast, there is literally a home for you. And there is some content you can really get into and sink your teeth into. So
absolutely, it's loads.
So again, Purposely Pixel. Check out their YouTube channel. Lenny does a great job. They all do a great job. They're doing it for you. The people in the chat and Greg and Dan and Gigi showing up late, but still here, and such a fantastic community. And Matt and Dan and Roger showed up, and I saw a whole bunch of people in there. Check out their channels. We will be back next Sunday for another episode of the Nomad Tech Project with Sam and Joe. We may have a guest. We have nothing lined up right now, but who knows? And
whatever we tweet, it might not be accurate anyway.
Right. Because we don't know. We just spitball. We have no idea what's going on. We're just guessing.
What time will be on? Who knows?
We'll try 3:00, but that's always variable. But the good thing is, if you have a chance, make sure if you want to catch a live stream, subscribe to the Purposely Pixel channel, because then it will kick you a notification when we go live. I think right. Twitch does, but I don't really know. I don't really know if anybody even watches it on Twitch.
We've got Twitch, but yeah.
I mean, who knows? Just go to YouTube.
Just sits there.
Fuck it. It's fine. It's whatever. Just be there. And just take care of it. And again, we're getting into the summer, so remember, hydrate. Make sure you enjoy your tech. Make sure you tune in to all the other streamers and content creators and live streamers that are in this chat. Make sure you give them some love. Be supportive of their channel. They're really doing it just because they want to get out there and kind of enjoy themselves. And so that's what we do. We present this to you and listen to it. Download the stream later on if you're not watching it. Tell your friends and family. Let them know that we're here and we're trying to just talk about tech and have a good time doing it. So, and absolutely, Neil, we will get you on. Be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. So we have to talk about getting Neil on the show as well.
Yeah, Neil's got to come on at some point.
Right. So
stop being a pussy, Neil.
Wow, I wasn't going to go that far, but okay. I mean, I'll let I'll let Joe give you some shade. So
I need some more British people on here.
right, we're running out. Too many Americans, right? We need to kind of like
Maybe
we can have some more British people. Maybe every once in a while we can get somebody from the Philippines, maybe from the Netherlands.
Mix it up.
Concept creator, right? So we need to get some people out here. So and we get Matt on as well. So when he's busy. So for myself, for Joe Hickey, that is the Nomad Tech Project for Sunday, June 5th, 2022. We enjoyed bringing this to you. Hopefully you enjoyed listening to this podcast. You can share that with your folks. Tell people to join the stream, and we'll have a chitty chat in the stream, and we'll talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. And we always appreciate your engagement. We appreciate the support you give the channel. And it's free. So fuck it, right? It's not like you have to pay for any of this. Right?
That's it.
Right?
It's free.
Yeah. So that's what we do. So, Joe, anything else before we sign off for the afternoon, sir?
No, I think we've said it all. Much love to everyone, and goodbye.
All right. For myself, for Joe Hickey, that's the Nomad Tech Project. Enjoy your tech. We will see you next Sunday. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.